This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness. I'm delighted to be joined by Luke Campbell. Luke, it's the announcement press conference today. It was obviously before it was announced last week, but Luke, you're finally here. But how excited are you to get a chance to fight for that WBC World Title once and for all?
Yeah, no, very excited. Got something in my throat. No, very excited. This is a moment that I've worked for my whole life, prepared for all that dedication. You know, it is for fights like this. But, you know, I'm very grateful and blessed to be in this position. I'm excited for this opportunity, this challenge. And, you know, I'm a competitor. I want to compete at the highest level, and this is definitely it.
People are making you a huge underdog for the fight. What have you read into it? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is if you rely on everybody else's opinion, I'd never be in the position I'm in today. So all these people that have opinions, is rightly so, they can have an opinion. I mean, you're always going to be an underdog against Lomachenko. You're always going to be an underdog. But they don't walk in my shoes. They don't do what I do. I'm training hard every single day, and I'm excited for this fight. But this is my opportunity to go out there and to show everybody what I'm capable of doing, to change all them opinions, and to show everybody how good I am.
So talks about Vasyl Lomachenko then, and how exactly do you plan on beating somebody who is considered to be the best fighter on the planet?
Just by doing what I do, you know, by landing hard shots on him and not receiving them back. It's as simple as that.
Eddie seems to think that if you're going to win, you need to try and win by stoppage. Do you think that you could win by outboxing Vasyl, or?
I guess we'll soon find out on August 31st. You know, we can do all the talking we want, but we're never going to know until the fight starts.
How key is your experience with Jorge Linares going to be? Obviously, Vasyl's boxed him as well. How key is your own experience with him going to be?
I'm a different person now to what I was when I boxed Linares. I'm in a totally different place I am now to what I was then. I'm physically, mentally in such a more of a better place now than what I was then. And I believe in myself so much more now. So that's going to make a hell of a lot of difference.
People have picked up on the fact that Vasyl Lomachenko's had a few injuries creeping these past few fights that he's had. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that maybe he might be carrying something going into the fight, or he may possibly have an injury occur during the fight?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, that's none of my concerns. My concerns is being the best I can be, and that's it.
Finally, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the boxing over the past weekend. We'll start off with your stablemate, CBS. His split decision defeat to Richard Riakporhe. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough fight. It was very close. I had my man just winning the fight. I mean, if you look at punch stats and work rate, then Chris Billam-Smith certainly won the fight. But you know, the Riakporhe landed the bigger shots, and it was a very tough fight for them both. And like you say, it could have gone either way. You know, there was no arguments for either way. But I thought my man just nicked the fight. But listen, it was one of them fights. It was a great learning curve for him, and he will be back better, stronger, and wiser for sure.
What are your thoughts on the knockdown? Did you believe that it was a knockdown, or?
I thought the knockdown was a hard one to call, and he decided to count him. Me personally, I mean, there was both on the ropes, and they sort of both turned over on the ropes. I didn't really feel like he should have received a knockdown there. I thought the ref could have just let it go on. I mean, they landed both on the ropes a lot of times. I mean, Riakporhe was really leaning on him and holding a hell of a lot, and not once did he get warned for his holding. But it was a tough fight for both guys, and it really could have gone either way.
And if I quickly get your thoughts on the rest of that card, the heavyweight action, Derek Chisora's stoppage victory against Artur Szpilka, David Price defeating Dave Allen. Your thoughts on those two fights first?
It was some knockout by Derek. I mean, that was a scary knockout. I mean, he did an amazing job. To me, he looked a lot bigger in the ring that night than he did against Whyte. I think he weighed in too light against Whyte. I think if he was as big as what he was when he got in the ring on Saturday night when he boxed Dillian, I believe he could have caused an upset there. But it was some scary knockout. I also thought David Price was the best I've seen him. I thought he did really well. He was calm and relaxed, and his defence was really good. I think if Price, he had a little bit more. I think he'll get a lot of confidence from that fight because he's done the rounds. He did the rounds well. But I think if he just had a little bit more confidence in his own ability, his power, his endurance, I think he could have had Dave out there in 6 rounds. But I think he needed them rounds. He needed to go as long as 11 rounds to get in there and get that experience and know he can do the rounds and do them comfortable. So I believe it was a very good win for him. It's a tough one for Alan. It's not good when you're in this game taking a lot of punishment, and you know he got bust up and he couldn't see, but he's such a tough guy, so strong in his presence, and he's got some chin on him. He really has. I think he's too good for his own. He's too tough for his own good, and you know it's not about being tough in boxing, you know. So I don't know what he's going to do from now, but if I was his coach, I wouldn't advise him to be going in the ring taking much more punishment like that. Maybe you should have that conversation whether to hang the gloves up or not. That's down to him and his team. But yeah, he took a lot of punches, and you know I'm praying that there's nothing wrong. He's all good. He's all safe, and his health is good.
My final couple quick last questions before I do let you shoot off. Whyte-Rivas headlined, and then Manny Pacquiao defeating Keith Thurman during the night. Your thoughts on both of those?
Yeah, the Whyte fight. I mean, it was a tough fight for Whyte. Again, everybody was saying it was a fight he didn't need to take. Why did he take the fight? Because you know he wants to prove to everybody and himself that he can go all the way. I mean, it was a tough fight for him. He got knocked down. It's a couple of times now in the last 3 or 4 fights he's been on the canvas. You know, so he's definitely got that grit, determination. You know, that he can go down, he can get back up and continue to win these fights. It wasn't an easy fight for him, but he came through it. He got the points win, and again, it's just moving on from there. He's still waiting for a world title fight, so hopefully he'll get his shot and go from there. And the Thurman and Keith fight.
Thurman Pacquiao.
Oh, sorry, yeah, bloody hell.
It's been a long day, a long morning.
Talking loads of shit today. And yeah, the Pacquiao and Keith Thurman fight. I mean, I know that Thurman was talking a lot of shit, cringy stuff coming up to this fight, really bigging himself up and talking the game. But Manny Pacquiao got in there and showed him that, listen, you can't win fights on your mouth. And he went in there and did the business, so fair play to him. He's 40 years old and he's still beating these young champions, so he's doing something right.
Finally, a final message to Vasyl Lomachenko ahead of August 31st?
No message really, just I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm excited for this challenge. I'll see you in the ring August 31st.
Luke Campbell, thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Brilliant, thank you.